Hello and welcome to another episode of Start Living Sustainable. This is the show where we talk about all things eco-friendly when it comes to living and practicing healthier habits from every room in your home. I have a couple of questions for you today. Do you want to know you're getting bang for your buck when you go shopping? Do you wish you never had buyer's remorse? If you answered yes, then you're in the right place. I'm your host, I'm Cynthia, and today I have a special topic I think everybody can benefit from: the concept of costs per wear. Now, this concept, it's been around for a while, and I'm sure this is going to help you make more informed decisions when you go out shopping for clothes, gadgets, or really anything that comes with a price tag. We're talking about the concept of costs per wear. So let me explain it to you. Stick around because this is one episode that you don't want to miss. Hi friends, welcome to Start Living Sustainable. I'm your host, Cynthia Harvey Brown. In this podcast, I'm going to help you discover sustainable ways to improve your overall health and well-being in your home. And I'm going to show you how to do this without spending a lot of time or money, all in partnership with God. Yes, if you're ready to show yourself some love, experience a new level of wellness, build faith, and align your values with God's vision for your life, then you're in the right place. Pour out the diet soda, and we should talk about those yoga pants. Let's have some serious fun in today's episode. Now, before I break down the costs per wear concept, I just want to give a shout out to Ashley Ann. She's one of my listeners and she left me a review and I want to share it with you. It simply says, Cynthia has a heart for her audience, and that is true. I love you guys. And it goes on to say, a great listen to see how you can not only look great, but feel great, doing it through sustainable living. Listen in if you want to be responsible for how you shop. I thought it was a fitting review, and it has everything to do with what we're going to talk about today. I want you guys to have confidence about what you're looking at to buy or considering to buy when you go out shopping. Now, if you haven't left a review for me, please, I'm grateful for every person that leaves a review. You can also join our private Facebook group and sign up for our monthly email where you can connect with me and receive information, ideas, tips, and recommendations that you can use right away. So definitely click the link below and connect with us. You know, let me just share this quick story with you. I was a living example of this concept years ago before I even knew what cost per wear meant. I was in the market for a car, and I was considering actually buying a used car at the time, which would have been perfectly okay with me until my mother said to me, why do you want to buy someone else's problems? Now, keep in mind, there's no shade here. If you're buying a used car or you own a used car, as long as you take care of it, it'll get you from point A to point B. But my mom influenced my decision, so I went ahead and I purchased a brand new top-of-the-line Honda. It was one of the best investments I ever made when I think back. I paid it off in 5 years. I drove it for 18 years, putting over 290,000 miles on the car before it actually conked out. Yes, 290,000 miles. And I tried calculating it for you, and I'll share the costs per drive that I estimated on the car with you later. But this concept has become really popular among savvy, smart shoppers, but a lot of people still don't fully understand what it means or how to apply it. What is cost per wear? Well, let me break that down for you. Costs per wear, or CPW, It's a pretty simple formula that allows you to evaluate the actual value you're getting from an item you buy. So it's calculated by dividing the cost of the item by the estimated number of times you'll wear it, use it, or in my car example, drive it. The idea is to shift your focus from the initial price tag to the long-term value it has for you. So the simple formula is cost per wear equals initial cost of item divided by the number of times you'll wear it. Okay, so it's not just about how much something costs up front, but how much it costs every time you use it. So let's take a look at a real example. Let's say you buy a cheap pair of shoes for $20, but they wear out after 20 wears. Your cost per wear would be $1. Now, on the other hand, if you invest in a higher quality pair of shoes, say for $100, and you wear them 200 times, the cost per wear is just 50 cents. And even though the second pair is more expensive, they offer a better value for you in the long run. You see, the goal here is to shift our focus from just looking at the upfront costs, which is the price tag, to considering the long-term value. After all, a cheap item that you never use, or if it falls apart soon after you buy it, it's still not worth the money that you spend on it, right? Okay, we're going to look at one more example. And in this example, I want you to consider a few other factors that I'd like for you to bear in mind when you're calculating your cost per wear. And one of the factors that you should always look at is durability. How long will the item last? And look at the quality of the item. You also want to look at the versatility, the timelessness, and the comfort of the item. So let's take this second example and let me illustrate for you just so that you can understand this concept fully. So this time we're going to be looking at 2 linen shirts. So the 2 linen shirts, one is a sustainable fashion shirt, and the initial cost, let's say it's $50. Its durability factor is something you want to look at. Let's say it's designed to last at least 5 years if it's cared for properly. And generally speaking, sustainable clothing, higher quality clothing, they will last longer. The versatility of this linen shirt, well, let's say it's a classic design, so it works for both in a casual as well as a formal environment. Another factor that you want to consider is the timelessness of the piece. And in this case, our example, let's say it's a neutral color and it's a button-down style that won't go out of fashion quickly. And it's comfortable. And like I said to you earlier, I know a little bit about fabrics, and higher quality fabrics and linen. In this case, it's just going to feel nicer against your skin. Let's take a look at the second shirt. This is the $12.99 fast fashion linen shirt, and the initial cost is $12.99. And the durability of this shirt, it's going to start to show wear after 1 season, and it's likely not to last for more than a year. The versatility of a trendy piece that may not be suitable for every occasion. So for example, it may be really thin linen that is see-through, so it would not be appropriate for a corporate interview, for example. So the timelessness of the shirt, well, it really does depend on the color. If it's a trendy new color and it has a print on it of some sort that is very in right now, but it may not be in a year, you want to consider that. How comfortable it is, we'll try it on, but I can tell you that the lower quality linen, it might not feel as nice against your skin. But let's be generous and say you'll wear this shirt 10 times before it's either out of style or it starts to look worn and it falls apart. So if you look at the 2 shirts and compare them, at first glance, the $12.99 shirt might seem to be a better deal. But when you look closer and you look at the cost per wear, the higher quality $50 shirt ends up costing you only $1 per wear and has the potential for a much longer shelf life, and you'll wear it longer, and it has a versatility and comfort that maybe the second one does not have. So the fast fashion, the $12.99 shirt ends up costing you more. It's costing you $1.30 per wear, and it's, like I said earlier, it's likely not to hold up after you wash it a few times, and it's just not going to last as long before it starts looking old and worn. So even though the quality linen shirt has a higher upfront cost, its cost per wear is actually lower, making it a smarter financial choice in the long run. And additionally, the comfort, the versatility, and you look at the quality and the craftsmanship and the timeless design, these are things that add value and benefit. So you want to look at that because you can contribute that to the overall value of the piece. Now, the other thing that I want to say that I think this is the best part of applying the cost per wear is that you can apply it to almost anything, not just clothing, but electronics, even experiences like concerts and trips. It really does help you prioritize spending on what genuinely adds value to your life. So now let's go back and look at my Honda example. I tried my best to break this down, and I know that the car, brand new, was $15,000 at the time, and I divided that by the number of days that I drove the car, and the cost per wear was only $2.28. I was amazed at this, and this formula really does help you to see things in a whole new perspective. I mean, when you think about what an Uber costs to ride around for in a day, and this cost per wear formula can be a useful tool when you're evaluating the value of almost anything. So I hope you can really grasp this principle, because I think if you get behind it, it'll really make a difference when you're out there shopping. A couple of bonus tips here I want to give you before we end this episode, and this is something that you want to keep in mind as well, and that is to just be realistic. When you're calculating how many times you'll use an item, be honest with yourself about that. And for some of the items, you may want to keep track, and that might mean that you actually write down how many times you wear it or use them. Another bonus is to reevaluate. After a period of time, look back and calculate the real cost per wear of some of the purchases to see if you estimate it correctly or if you were way off the money. This can really help you make better decisions in the future. Always try to estimate the cost per wear before making a purchase, and don't let it be the only factor. If an item brings you a whole bunch of joy and you just feel so good about it, or if it serves a unique purpose in your life, even if the cost per wear is high, it may justify the purchase. So that being said, I hope you've gained some valuable insight into today's episode on how to put your money where your thinking is. Shop smart, not harder, and stay tuned for more episodes packed with useful tips that you can start practicing right away. And before we wrap up today's episode on costs per wear, I really hope that this has given you a new perspective on how to evaluate the things you buy. You see, the goal here isn't necessarily to always choose the cheapest item, but to select the item that gives you the most value over time. I hope these examples illustrate the importance of considering cost per wear, and that you look out for the other factors that I mentioned, like durability, versatility, timelessness, and comfort the next time you go shopping and before you purchase something. It's not just about the price tag, it's about the value you get from the item over time. I'm reminded of Matthew 25, where Jesus tells the parable of the talents, and to the ones who invested wisely in verse 21, he says, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of the Lord." That verse of scripture really blesses me, and it helps me, and I hope you can reflect on the fact that we are supposed to be wise about the purchases we make and steward our finances in a way that's pleasing. So the next time you find yourself hesitating in a store or while you're shopping online, ask yourself, what will my costs per wear be? Trust me, your wallet will thank you. And I want to thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Start Living Sustainable. I'm signing off, but until next episode, shop well. Thank you for joining me here today at Start Living Sustainable. Please take a moment and head over to Apple Podcasts and leave me a review. That really lights me up. If you were encouraged or blessed in any way, show your love and share the episode link with someone that you know that may benefit. Thank you so much, and until next time, God bless you, sis.